Hey everyone, I'm Mary Beth McAndrews from Dread Central, and I'm here today with the co-directors and co-writers of the film Strawberry Mansion, Kentucker Audley and Albert Birney. Hello, how are you guys?
Hello, thanks for having us.
Hello.
I love Strawberry Mansion. I saw it at Sundance. Obsessed with it. I'm Baltimore born and raised, so Dan Deacon in there really was incredible to hear. But I am curious where this incredible idea for Strawberry Mansion came from. How was it born?
Yeah, it was born, I think, out of a uh, childhood of being obsessed with VHS tapes and movies,
Hell yeah.
and going to the video store on a Friday night wearing your Planet Hollywood shirt and renting renting a movie, and like not sure which before the internet when you didn't really know who was what movie was what, or all you had was this little VHS box cover. Uh, so the movie was just born out of that love of that mystery of going into the video store and just rolling the dice and seeing what you were going to find every Friday night.
That's incredible. What were some of the covers that stuck out in your head? Because I always remember going to Blockbuster and seeing the covers and picking movies based on just the cover art.
Definitely. Oh gosh. I mean, I leaned a little bit more towards the horror than Kentucker. So for me, it was the Nightmare on Elm Street videotapes, those covers that were painted, any like kind of painted cover that looked like you were gonna enter a whole nother world, you know. So a lot of the horror movies that were like really dark and had these like bold red colors, and those always stuck out. Even if I didn't see them, like Monkey Shines or Silent Night, these are like movies I still haven't seen 35 years later, but the covers are burned in my brain.
Yep. And you're
What
not a
about
horror person, Ken Tucker?
Yeah, well, I'm not as much. I was a little squeamish, coming of age, being a younger, but I'm getting more into them now. I think I love the atmospheric, I love the eerie, the tension, like that kind of stuff. But I was always squeamish about gore and violence. But other than, it's like such a wide field of cinema, like this, anything from something like that that's just very atmospheric and very full of like these questions of like psychology and what like existential questions. I feel like can be very horrific. And I think so there's just obviously it's such a wide field that I would not say that I'm less of a horror film guy now. I just like slasher movies never really did it for me, but like I love all kinds of other horror movies.
Cool. Awesome. And so, how did the both of you meet? Because before Strawberry Mansion, you directed and co-wrote Silvio together. So, how did you guys come together?
Yeah, we met actually at the Maryland Film Festival right here in Baltimore.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, about a decade ago, we were both there with movies that we had made, and the Maryland Film Fest for many years was such a wonderful kind of meeting hub where you could find other like-minded people that usually wouldn't be in town. And yeah, we just met, and then over the course of a couple of years, kind of kept in touch and found ourselves working on another film where I was holding the boom pole, and Kentucker was the actor. And as boom pole holder for sound, I'm always right there. So I was always very close to Kentucker every day. And I think if I had been like another role in the film, we might not have become close friends. But uh,
That's a very intimate relationship, the boom pole operator and the actor.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's how we hit it off. We
you don't
fell
hear
in love
enough.
like in that close proximity of him right over my head all day.
It's a good meet cute. I feel like it's an incredible meet cute.
That would be a good film, a good like romance, like a romance between a boom pole operator and this like movie star, you
Oh
know?
my god, I would watch that, and it has to be horror movies because it's even fun. I feel like it's even weirder how they bond over that. That would be
Right.
incredible.
Definitely.
But Albert, so you are in Baltimore. I obviously have mentioned I'm Baltimore born and raised. What is your favorite part about the Maryland, Baltimore movie making scene? Because not a lot of people talk about it, so I want to hear a little
Yeah.
bit more about it.
Well, I just love that it's very easy to make films here, to make art here, not only film but music and paintings and whatever you want. Uh, I love New York City and I love Los Angeles, but it's a little bit more expensive, the cost of living
Oh
in
yeah.
those cities. With with rent and just everything, food. So Baltimore is cheaper in that way. So then that gives you more time and energy and money to focus on filmmaking. So and also it's just a great city. You've got you can drive 10-15 minutes and be in a lovely wooded area or forest. You got the inner harbor. Uh, yeah, and old warehouse spaces, old abandoned areas that you can film in, and everyone is super excited to help here. So that's what I gotta say about that.
I also took my engagement photos in a Baltimore abandoned warehouse, so I know
See,
those very well.
yeah, Baltimore's ready. It's here for you. It's here for whatever you need. Engagement photos, movies, all of the
All
above.
of it.
Yeah.
Um, so speaking of Baltimore, Dan Deacon helped scored the film. What was it like to bring him onto the project?
Let's see. You want to handle this one?
um, yeah, so Dan is somebody, yeah, Baltimore based, and Albert had kind of befriended him over the last couple of years, and then kind of like worked me a little bit into that friendship through these tubing trips that we take every summer. And that's kind of how I met with Dan, and we propositioned him one summer on the creek tubing down the Brandywine. Is it a river? Brandywine River?
I mean, it's considered, they call it the Brandywine Creek, but it feels more like a river to
Yeah.
me.
Anyways, so we asked him to score the film because I feel like there's so much overlap with our visions, and we're about the same age, and we have like similar passions about movies and music and epic sounds, and synthesizers and things that felt otherworldly and epic. So yeah, and Dan hadn't really scored narrative film before, or a narrative feature, so that he looked at this as an opportunity to like, he'd done a lot of documentaries, but he hadn't done something with this much world building and this much like fantasy element. So it seemed like a really natural matchup, and it turned out really, really well, and it was incredible to work with him throughout the process.
That's awesome. And you talk about world building. So what was that process like for you two to build this epic, crazy world of Strawberry Mansion?
Yeah, well, it's fun to like when you're coming up with a movie to not like limit your like how big you can go. I think we both were like, we'll go really big. And then the second fun part after writing is then figuring out how to do it and coming up with different ideas and methods. And, you know, it's like, a puzzle. There's certain different effects that'll work best for some of the world building or some of the characters, and then stop motion over here and CG over there and paper mache over here. And it's kind of just trusting that because you're passionate about the characters and the story, that all the different methods and kind of low budget DIY, I don't want to call them like shortcuts, but the different ways that you can kind of combine all these different styles is going to congeal together to create a feeling and a world and a dreamscape. And I think because the movie is about dreams, it was a lot of freedom to mix these different styles and feelings and emotions and put them all together. And whenever anyone mentions, wow, that really felt like a dream, that always feels like, okay, good, like at least we succeeded in that. Because too often you watch a dream movie and you're like, didn't really feel like a dream. So
Yeah.
if nothing else, even if you didn't like the movie, if it felt like a dream, then hopefully we succeeded in some way.
So do either of you have vivid dreams? Like, do you remember your dreams? Are you one of those people?
I don't. I remember my dream last night, and it was pretty horrific. I had a dream last night where like a divorced couple were handing their child back between each other,
Jeez.
and one of the dad was like, I gave our daughter her first lottery ticket, and the wife was like, oh, that's good. It says like about this age. She had a book about this age. That's when you can start introducing lottery tickets. And I woke up That's the whole dream. And I woke up like as if somebody was chasing me and trying to kill me. I was like so scared by this. I was so haunted by this like this love connection that had gone like that had left these people's lives, and like they were no longer in love, and they did very terse exchange about their daughter, and it's like they used to have this life together. Anyways, that's the last dream I remember having.
That's wild.
Wow.
I like the lottery ticket about the age that you can use a lottery ticket. That's yeah. I used to have a lot. Well, I still have vivid dreams. I'd say like I used to be really in the habit of writing them down, and I was
Oh, okay.
for about a decade maybe,
Oh, wow.
like in my early 20s to early 30s, I was like gung ho about writing them down. And it's great to go back and revisit them because I'm like, I can't believe I remembered all these details. But I think the more you write them down, the more that like
Yeah.
they get clear or something in the morning. But I too had a very strange dream last night, which it's one of those ones that it's hard to even go into because it's all about the people in it, all the personal relationships,
Oh, yeah. Ooh, the worst
family
kind of
members.
dreams where it's like all the people you know, and you're like,
Yeah, and it just feels like, but like this one specifically uh, was all about like the two sides of my family, my mom's side and my dad's side, and coming together, and this old piece of land that my dad's side of the family used to own, but in my dream, both my mom's side and my dad's side owned it, and it was very like it felt like some kind of like it was I'm not gonna go into details, but it felt like one of those dreams where you're like, wow, I bet I could talk about that dream for like 4 weeks with a therapist and like unpack all the little details of it.
oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
We had
so
some
yeah,
pretty intense dreams last night.
yeah. Last night there was something going on.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I usually remember like I love this movie because I'm a big vivid dreamer. So again, it felt like a dream. But I don't remember my dream last night. I'm lame. I can't remember mine.
Same. Yeah.
Damn. I have one last question for the both of you. If you
Yeah.
could program your perfect double feature with Strawberry Mansion, which movie would you pick? Kentucker. I would like you to go first.
Uh, that's a good question. I mean, I was trying to stay in the horror realm. I wouldn't say our film is a complete horror film, but we definitely there are a lot of elements there that overlap. I just saw House recently, for the
Which,
first time.
oh, the Japanese one?
Japanese House, yeah,
Oh, the best.
and that kind of blew my mind, and I feel like that would be a good double feature with Strawberry Mansion because it's very wacky and zany. There's like this lightness that you rarely see in a horror film, but it's also very gruesome and and really a lot of fun sci-fi practical effects. I think that would make a good one with Strawberry Mansion.
Hell yeah. And then Albert, what about you?
Yeah, I gotta go with my first love, Freddy Krueger. I'm gonna put Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. I think we'll play first, and then if people with their kids want to leave, they can leave. But then everyone else can stick around for Nightmare on Elm Street, which is about dreams and nightmares, really. Uh, but I think that would be a fun one.
Those both sound great. I think we should do a triple feature of all of those together.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
thank you to both of you for taking the time to chat with me about Strawberry Mansion, and I appreciate it so much.
Yeah. Thanks, Mary
So
Beth.
much.